Porn addiction is one of those things that lurks quietly in the background. As men specifically, we think it's normal and we consume it, but the evidence is pretty clear on this, why it is so devastating to our life. From an evolutionary standpoint, releasing sperm signals to the body that its primary biological mission, procreation, has been accomplished. In that moment, your energy levels drop, your drive vanishes, and a false sense of commitment sets in if it wasn't real sex. Even if you aren't truly happy, the body convinces itself that its job has been done, and as a result, you slip into laziness, coasting along in a state of complacency. Until you realize watching porn has been shaping the way you think, feel, and relate, you will never see the urge to quit. It's easy to dismiss it as harmless. After all, we live in a world where accessibility to anything is a few clicks away. But there's the thing. The ease of access doesn't mean the absence of consequence. Watching porn becomes a mental loop, rewiring how we experience intimacy, relationships, and even ourselves. So I've come to see that quitting isn't only about stopping the act, it's about reclaiming what's been quietly hijacked: our imagination, our intimacy, and our eros. In this love letter, I'm going to walk you through my personal frameworks for breaking free from the cycle, how I stopped watching porn at the age of 24. Of course, still today, I cannot say I completely stopped. Sometimes the urge arises and I watch porn approximately once every 4 months, maybe. Sounds healthy? Yes, because it is. As said, it's more than saying no. It's about transforming the very foundation of how you connect with yourself and others. It's not going cold turkey in the long run. It's about being aware of the negative side effects and knowing the why and why it has a negative side effect on your life and making sure you are in control. It's time to reprogram what's been running on autopilot for too long. So are you ready to break the habit? So let's then turn first on why. The dangers of watching porn. Most kids are exposed to porn by the age of 13. 73% of teens have already seen it. That first exposure is the start of imprints on their perception of sex, intimacy, and connection. The reality is 53% of boys and 39% of girls actually believe that pornography is a realistic image of sex. Let that sink in. Their foundation for understanding one of the most intimate human experiences built on something performative, which is a black hole in quantity and quality. Beyond that, studies show that porn consumption is the second strongest indicator of relationship problems, being just behind infidelity. Porn becomes an invisible separation wall in relationships, amplifying the personal disconnection, reduced intimacy, and trust issues. It normalizes behavior that are far from reality and love, the nurturing, the connection, and the intimacy that most of us crave. Sex, in truth, is connection, not less, not more. By watching porn, we layer of whatever porn is between our connection to the other. So it's like a wall. So even if you think it's just a habit, something you can quit anytime, the truth is a bit more complicated. Porn consumption can easily become habitual, leading to a form of dependency that hijacks the brain's reward system. It's like a drug. Through neuroplasticity, your brain starts to crave more extreme and novel content just to feel the same adrenaline rush. So porn physically reshapes your brain, literally. And that's not all. Studies show that at least 1 in 3 porn videos depict sexual violence and aggression. 1 in 3. Mainstream porn distorts how people see sex. It also actively normalizes abusive dynamics. In doing so, it reinforces harmful stereotypes, fuels objectification. If you think porn is harmless, think again. The numbers tell a different story. The question is, how long are you willing to ignore it? So here I'm going to tell you my framework on how to break free. Awareness and acknowledgement. The first step is identify the problem. Acknowledge this issue, recognize that pornography consumption has become a problem, and understand that it is a negative impact on your life. Gain awareness of how that is showing itself. Step 2 is understand the triggers. Keep track of the triggers, whether emotional, situational, habitual, that lead to want you to watch pornography. This can be things like stress, boredom, loneliness, or specific cues like staying up late or being online alone. Then to shift in identity values. Step 3, redefine yourself. Move from thinking I'm addicted to I am capable of change. Shift from an identity of someone who consumes porn to someone who's actively seeking personal growth. See yourself as a lover of the female as a whole. Visualize a version of yourself loving with passion and heart, instead of pursuing pleasure for the sake of pleasure. Step 4, reevaluate values. Identify what truly matters. Relationships, personal health, productivity, and integrity, and align your behavior with these values. Ask yourself, does porn align with the person I want to become? Then comes disruption of routine. Step 5, break the habit loop. Replace the old routine, which is watching porn, with healthy alternatives. In my personal journey, I did not quit masturbation, but stopped watching porn. So I masturbated. That will make you try to visualize the sexual act of imprinting act with your mind's eye. This is important because instead of imprinting visuals into your subconscious through watching porn, you are now nurturing your own imagination and creativity. This will take some effort and time in the beginning, but you will benefit from a more mental health. Also, when you feel the urge, you can also choose an activity that satisfies the same need, like dopamine boost, relaxation. Examples include physical exercise, like a short walk or workout, meditation, mindfulness exercises, creative outlets like drawing, writing, playing music, or engaging in hobbies. In general, it is always a very recommendable thing to switch from consumerism to productivity, like from getting input to creating output. And what is the most incredible thing is that if you nurture that mind's eye with your imagination instead of watching porn, so you're doing the same thing. Instead of getting the visuals in through watching porn, you're projecting your fantasy outward with your mind's eye, which makes you more imaginative, more fertile in your thoughts and inner world. Your inner eye is expanding. So then comes behavioral and cognitive support. Step 6, create accountability systems. Share your goals with a trusted friend or therapist and check in regularly. Therapy is also a beautiful thing. Join a community with the shared goal of quitting porn, and accountability partners can help you stay committed. Step 8 is reframe the urges. When you feel an urge, understand it as a signal, not a command. Use cognitive techniques. Instead of saying I can't watch porn, say I choose not to watch porn because my values and mental clarity and relationships are more valued. So then comes mindfulness and emotional regulation. Step 9 is practice awareness. Incorporate mindfulness practices like meditation to help manage stress and emotions. By becoming aware of your emotional states, you can observe urges without acting on them. And step 10 then is healing your relationship with masculinity. Look, you don't have to be hard all the time. You don't have to be the hard guy. You don't have to dominate. You don't have to carry everything alone. I know this Andrew Tate generation is now very hurt, and it is a deep reflection of how we have a deep father wound within us. By the way, he also does have that. He has been abandoned by his father so much. You have to realize that you don't have to carry everything alone. Being in touch with your emotions and showing compassion, asking for help, these are not signs of weakness, but of balance and wisdom. Healing your relationship with masculinity means redefining what it means to be a man. Accepting that you don't need to live up to outdated ideals, and instead finally embracing a balanced approach That means being strong when needed, but also soft when it's time to rest, recharge, and reconnect. We've been conditioned to believe that masculinity equals toughness, physical and emotional. We're told to man up, to never cry, to be the dominant one in relationships, and to always stay in control. But this rigid image is a trap. It denies us the full spectrum of the human experience. It keeps us from truly healing. So, I hope this could help. If you need help with this, shoot me an email at hi@tarko.io, and I wish you all the best. See you next week. Kiss, kiss, Tarkan. Bye-bye.